Hey everyone, I'm Francesca. I'm the editor-in-chief of the official Xbox magazine, and we're still talking about E3 here on the video podcast. After seeing a demo of the game at E3, I mean, Turok, it's kind of an old license that hasn't really been around for a while, but there's a lot of new gameplay in it, and they're really doing their best over at Buena Vista Games to kind of revive the license. It basically tells a story of a Native American super soldier who along with his squad, crash land on this planet that happens to be stuck in some sort of a time warp. So they not only do they have to fight the enemies that they were chasing down, but also they find that on this planet there are dinosaurs. And the coolest part of it, besides the fact that it looks amazing, even though it's really early because of Unreal Engine 3, that's what they're using. So it looks beautiful. But beyond that, some of the gameplay elements are really cool as well. Like you're able to pit dinosaurs against your enemies and like somehow manipulate them through using like different tactics and stuff to really kind of turn the tide of battle or get attacked by the dinosaurs yourself. So I mean, there's not a whole lot that we know about this game so far other than a few basics, but we were really surprised, and we're actually pretty stoked about this game. It's a ways off. I think it has a 2007 release. We're hoping for like a mid-2007 release, though they won't go on record with that. But from Turok, we're going to go straight to Rainbow Six Vegas, which is absolutely amazing looking. I mean, just from the cinematic kind of angle that they're taking with the graphics, to the fact that you can like rappel upside down on the outside of a building to kind of break through the glass and surprise terrorists. So, but there's a lot of other ways that you can kind of plan your attacks.
So what I'll do now, I'll plan in real time. I'll tag this terrorist, telling my teammates, once you go in the room, focus on that guy, right? And I'm gonna tag this other one here. So now I know as soon as my guys storm in, they're gonna focus on those two. I'll focus on the one with the hostage, and this last guy right in front of the door, well, he's not lucky, because we're gonna breach the door. So the breaching charge, that's gonna kill him, right?
It goes without saying that we really can't wait to play Rainbow Six Vegas. But now for something completely different is Microsoft's Viva Pinata. It's kind of a gamble for the company. It's kind of an experiment because it's clearly not aimed towards, say, the Rainbow Six crowd, but you could be surprised. Basically, it works a lot like, say, I don't know if you've ever played Harvest Moon on the PlayStation or on GameCube or Animal Crossing on GameCube, but it's kind of like a free-form sandbox where you're left to kind of attract living piñatas into this garden that you cultivate, and over time you want to be able to grow your garden to as big a size as possible and collect and attract as many wild piñatas as possible, and then over time they become tame, and when they become tame you can have them romance each other. I think that's the right terminology that Microsoft wanted us to use. But I mean, basically they mate, and they eventually, like right afterwards, you get an egg. And the big push is that you're going to be able to trade piñatas online with friends or over some sort of server. So, I mean, it's kind of a really cool idea, and I'm actually really looking forward to it because it's something very different from all the other types of games that are on 360 right now. And they're actually pairing it up with a Saturday morning type animated series. I guess it's not a cartoon, it's an animated series that kind of riffs on a lot of the different kinds of piñata characters that are in the game. So it's something very different and something very unique, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. So we're really hoping that Viva Pinata takes off, just because it's so different than anything else on 360 right now and anything else Microsoft has coming up. And that kind of brings us to another Microsoft game that was at E3, and that's Forza 2. Microsoft was really surprised by the support from the community in the original. So I think they really want to take Forza 2 and expand the market and make it even more accessible.
The goal is not to say, hey, here's this great game, let's copy it, right? What we want to do is say, here's door number 2. You didn't see this coming, and you're going to freaking love it. And at the same time, hopefully get people kind of stoked to go, oh, well, I'll take a look. So we added a bunch of assists. You know, the game, it's a hardcore simulator, and it can be as hard as you want it to be. I mean, if you want to turn all the assists off and try and control a 3,300-pound, 500-horsepower car with your fingers, it will require mastery. I mean, you have to sit down and really practice. But if you turn the assists on, you know, my goal is, as we go farther and farther along, you can get an 8-year-old that can come up and play the game, and they don't have the dexterity that they needed, and maybe their hand's a little bit too small for the controller, and they can still look at the cars and go, you know, shiny, that's fast, that's cool. Get that passion started.
Our last game doesn't really need an introduction, but it's Halo 3. And Halo 2's story really left us hanging, but Halo 3, Bungie really seems like they're going to deliver what the fans want, and we couldn't be more stoked about it. But let me shut up now and watch the full trailer on your own.
I am your shield. I am your sword. I know you. Your past. Your future.
This is the way the world ends.
So the level that you just saw in that trailer, we have it on good authority that it might actually make it into the final game. So rest assured that it's a real place in the game. And we have a lot more that we could say about Halo 3, but we don't want to spill the beans just yet. So if you want to know more, keep checking back on the podcast, in the magazine, official Xbox magazine, and the disc. Thanks a lot.